heard of that idea?
Is that what natural law is?
Is there a consensus that that's what natural law is? That's what you learned from this class? No? No one has no idea? Okay.
Okay, look it up. Somebody literally Google natural law. Or look it up in your book. What does it say?
Natural law are basically laws for humans to act rationally, to act morally within
Rationality. Okay, correct. It has nothing to do with God.
Well, not necessarily, because when this was defined, God was a rational idea, but whatever.
But we don't want to put that in there.
Right, and he was the one who just spoke about it with God, and God meant rational.
That's how it fit in with the God thing.
Exactly. So, yeah, you guys want to say? No. Alright, 2 people are leaving. So, did you guys hear that? No. Yeah, so, you want to repeat that maybe, and not just read it like from the book, but like put it in your own words.
So natural laws are basically laws for humans, and you're like acting in accordance with those laws if you act morally right.
So pretty much what that has to say is things like, like killing your dad, or like stealing from like your neighbor and stuff like that. Those are pretty much like things that you don't want to happen to you, so you probably shouldn't do those kinds of things.
These are all bad. And that's just something that's kind of just like something you're born with, or something that you're bad. It's natural, if you will. To not kill, to not steal, to not lie. Lying, I mean, that's questionable, but this thought thinks so. So, let's talk about, okay, did we get to who came up with natural law? Who the guy was it with it? Did we find that out? Hello?
Yeah,
We did. Who was it?
Thomas Aquinas.
Thomas Aquinas! That's important. Thomas Aquinas was the natural law guy. So let's do teleological.
Ooh.
Let's do teleological.
Can someone explain teleological?
What's that?
Sorry?
Teleological. T-E-L-E.
No one knows what teleological
O-L-O-G-I-C-A-L. I'm about to write it on the board. Teleological.
Where is that?
What is it?
Where is it?
Where is it?
Yeah.
Is that the question?
Yeah, I don't see it on
Oh,
the
I'm looking at it. It says teleological. Right next to weakness. Relativism.
Oh, okay, I see it. Thank you.
So like I said, it's a reasoning behind a function or goal. That's like what the dictionary or book definition or whatever. Can someone like put that into their own words, or does someone understand it differently? Teleological. The reasoning behind like a goal or idea or something.
Teleological. Think about how that would apply to morality. If it's your reasoning behind function or goal. So what's the teleological?
Yep. Motives.
Motives!
Cool. That's a good way to put it into your own words. Does someone else want to like expand on that idea, or does someone else have like a different understanding?
Teleological suspension of the ethical. What is your teleological reason? No. Fuck.
No,
What
that's
is-
right. Like, what's your
Yeah.
what's your teleological like explanation to kill this guy?
To kill this man was a teleological reason, and you say he killed my father, or he robbed me, or I'm crazy as shit. So you just have like a reason, and that's teleological.
So this is another
The
word.
study of reason. All logical always means the study of.
And these types of words, deontology, teleology, are kind of words that you kind of want to break up and understand what they mean. So teleo, if someone want to look that up, I'm pretty sure it means like God or something like that. But so if you understand it in that way,
This part is always going to be there.
you pretty much know what that is.
That's the study of. And then the front part is the Latin root usually, maybe Greek.
Does someone want to look up tibia? On Google or
Google it.
At a distance.
At a distance.
Far off or far away. Ancient Greek.
Okay, well, complete or end. Yeah, that seems more.
That seems better.
Well, that makes sense because it's like far away, like you're trying to get there and stuff like that. So, but I think like goal or end, that's a little bit more catches the nuance of it.
Let's talk about Kant. I know there's people in this room that can talk about Kant because I've been talking about Immanuel Kant for the past 4 weeks. So, who can tell me what Kantian ethics, what are the basis of Kantian ethics?
Hey guys, make sure that you two open Richard? Catherine, make sure you two get the sign-in sheet. And welcome.
What's up with Kant?
Your intentions behind everything, if it's moral or not.
Okay. Can someone give me like the theory Kant's? Okay. Can someone give me the theory that he sort of said?
They are end in themselves.
Okay. I'm thinking of like Sydney. You know what I'm thinking of, right?
She just said it.
Oh, what was it?
She said the means are an end within themselves.
Yeah, I'm thinking of the like
Oh, categorical imperative.
category.
Does that ring a bell?
Yes.
No. Well, somebody tell this guy what a categorical imperative is.
Actually, specifically, yeah.
So, I actually have a question as well.
Good.
The way I understand categorical imperative, and I could be wrong, is a way of evaluating your motives for an action. How is that different than teleology?
None of these. Who said that? That's a good question. We don't want to think of morality like trying to contrast each other. A lot of these go together. So like teleological works really well with almost everything Kant says, because it's all one big family. Like utilitarians and Kant usually disagree, but they agree on some things too. So we don't want to say like what's the difference. Like we had a question earlier that was like what's the difference between duty and relative morality. There might not be a very obvious difference. They might be very similar, just have different definitions. One uses duty, it means different things to different people. So theological really does have to do with Kant. It's not a big difference. But what is the categorical imperative? We're gonna find out, man.
Yeah. You.
Does someone know?
No.
I know you know. I know you know. Yeah, you do. I know. I'm like gonna point people out here. We've been talking about categorical imperative. Yeah. You're so smart. Everybody, it's basically, for kindergarten level, the golden rule. So, what does that mean? What did you say? Okay, so let's put it in like a more philosophical way. Yeah, go ahead. That's exactly what it is. Yeah. So don't do to others what you don't want done to yourself. Or to put it in a more poetic way, don't do to others what you don't want to see back into the world you live in, what you don't want to see repeated. So, but we'll put don't do to others what you don't want done to yourself.
And then these two ideas play in part because your intention behind the goal, which your goal is to like survive life, the intention behind it is like to do well and like succeed in a good way, etc. So that means like don't kill and those kinds of things, because if those things are done, if you put that into the world, then those things could come back to you.
Yeah, Kant really, what Kant was trying to do when he came up with the categorical imperative was like to find like an objective truth for morality. Most people will not disagree with the categorical imperative unless they're just trying to be a jerk. Now, people do, and there are smart philosophers that do disagree with the categorical imperative, but for the general community, but for the general public, this is a pretty good damn way to learn morality. It's pretty smart. So he uses a lot of natural law, uses a lot of teleological when he's talking about his ethics. But why don't you talk about divine command theory?
Okay.
That's totally different.
So we're gonna talk about divine command theory. Can someone tell me what divine would maybe have a reference to? Okay.
Yeah.
And maybe what the idea of command is trying to get. Okay, right on.
Embracing this.
So yeah, you pretty much got it through and through. So divine command theory, can someone tell me like where that was sort of, maybe where that came from and what that deals with?
Divine command theory. We moved past that actually.
So do you think that came directly from God? Okay. So who do you think sort of brought that idea into a world, i.e. put it on paper? Becca gives Thomas Aquinas. Does anyone agree or disagree with that? You agree with it? Does anyone else agree with it?
St. Thomas.
Okay, so royal consensus on Thomas Aquinas came up with this idea that God's plan, right? That's what we agree what it is. No.
No. Uh-oh. Go for it. Who said that?
I just said that.
Yeah. That's gonna be really helpful.
You're a bummer. No, she's really smart, guys. She's just having fun. Okay, so Saint Aquinas. Okay, so what would be something that would be in a divine command theory of morality? Let's give an example of a divine command theory of morality. Okay, so let's see what we got here. We've got God, we've got St. Thomas Aquinas.
Obedience like God's command, so like maybe probably the 10 Commandments goes by the idea.
Good.
That sounds good.
Do you want to give a specific example?
Thou shalt not kill.
Okay, good.
Oh
Right
shit,
on.
this one keeps coming up. Killing. Killing must be
Huh,
wrong.
that's interesting.
Killing is bad. What else do you think God doesn't want us to do?
Or does want us to do.
Or does want us to do? Morality's good and bad. It's not always like, don't do this, you should do this thing. Cheat, okay, that's cool.
We should cheat. Is that what he said?
What do we want to do with cheating?
Don't do it.
Avoid it.
Okay, avoid cheating. I like that.
For a second we weren't sure. And one
Yeah,
guy
we
knows.
were like, I don't know, damn it. Okay, one more, and we'll move on from him. Come on, what did Jesus say? Yeah, go. Sex before marriage is bad. Any form of sex besides missionary is bad. Aquinas said that, just so you know. He was like writing his philosophy, he's like, sex before marriage is wrong. And then once married, anytime you have sex when you're not trying to procreate is wrong. And anytime you have sex other than the missionary position is wrong, which basically means Aquinas was not getting any at all, and he was just pissed off. He's like, fucking it. So, sex. Yeah, oh really? You won't do that? No, that's a sin then. Get out of here before. Okay, let's talk about. Did we do utilitarianism?
No.
What? We've been lingering about utilitarianism all afternoon. Let's talk about it. That's a big one, guys. Utilitarianism. And I know there's people in this room that knows what that means.
Does someone want to explain utilitarianism? Say it louder.
That sounds good.
Did you guys hear that? You have no idea what it's screaming. Scream it.
The most good for the most amount of people.
Does everyone pretty much agree that that's what that idea sort of is trying to get the point of that idea? The most good for the most people. Does someone want to explain like maybe where that idea came from and how it developed?
Yeah, who were in charge of utilitarianism? Go. Yes.
Is involved. One other
You come up
guy.
with it.
Sorry? Yeah, that's what she just said.
John Stewart.
And John Stuart Mill. Does anyone know the relationship between those two individuals?
What did he say?
It might be like a godson. It might be like
Mill came off Bentham.
And so Mill was the actual one who coined the term utilitarianism. He's the one who said it and then wrote a philosophy on it. He's a really big deal. You should know that name.
John Stuart Mill. Okay, whoever's been to my sessions, who knows the phrase of the utilitarian?
That action is right, grace is greatness, and will bring this happiness for the grace of there is number of people.
That's good, but what's the quick and dirty one? Who knows the four? It's like 4 words.
Yes.
Maximize pleasure, minimize pain.
That's good, but there's a really, really good one that they literally, when you think utilitarianism, you think this phrase.
The end and the means.
But what is it?
I think it's just
Thank you! Oh, that's the big thing, guys. I'm writing it. Means is justified by the ends. What does that mean?
Someone put that in their own words.
So it doesn't matter how you do it, as long as the end result is good.
That's perfect.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Did everyone hear that? Maybe you want our friend to repeat it?
It doesn't matter how you do it, as long as the end result is good.
And for the biggest amount of, and pleasurable and good for the biggest amount of people. Speaking of pleasure, let's talk about hedonism. Talk about hedonism.
Yeah, let's talk about hedonism. Can someone give me sort of like the history of hedonism associated with Epicurus and all those and that idea? Sorry?
He thought that there were two things.
Who thought?
Epicurus, right?
You can spell it.
Is it on here?
D-O-N-I.
His whole idea,
Isn't.
Maximizing pleasure for yourself. Okay, good. So what your peer said was maximizing pleasure, but not necessarily, random pleasure or pleasure for my friend. Maximizing your pleasure. So specifically, like, even if everyone else is sort of damaging from that idea, it's you gaining and like being happy and stuff like that. Sort of, kinda. So this idea was spun off from. So what's your name? So Evan asked, is this the idea? Does this have to do with like the 4 pleasures, like natural, necessary, unnatural, necessary? Does everyone remember those?
yeah.
Or things? Yeah. So yes, is this associated with that? And can someone answer that question?
See your list really quick.
What?
Which list?
Yes.
The one you sent me.
Does everyone think yes?
I ended up
Well,
doing
the answer is
it.
no.
That's right. This one.
I think I actually do have it
Well,
on.
the answer is ish. The answer is no ish. So hedonism came from the Epicurus, which
It's right.
I'm assuming you know what that is, but we'll get to that later. But it came from Epicurus, and Epicurus was the one
Scroll
who
down for me.
coined that whole
Okay,
story,
scroll
natural,
up.
necessary, all
You're
that
fine.
stuff.
Thank you.
So yes, sort of, but more specifically, you should associate that image, that square, with Epicurus. Does everyone understand hedonism? No? You just shook your head no.
No, be brave. If you don't understand it, this is where you don't understand it. Tomorrow, that would be really unfortunate. You get it?
No.
We don't want to say came up with it, but you definitely tie it with him. At no point say Epicurus came up with the
Without
idea.
Epicurus, you wouldn't have this idea. But he wasn't the one who said hedonism.
It's very rare that a philosopher just stumbles upon these kind of things. They take it and then they make it famous.
We didn't learn the philosopher that actually came up with hedonism.
Right.
No,
yeah,
because
no.
we don't know who the hell that was. It might have been some ancient Greek dude.
Okay.
But Epicurus is the main guy we remember with it.
But remember that Epicureanism is different than hedonism.
Okay. Are we going to talk about that?
Yes.
Okay.
That's later.
It is? You want to talk about it now?
Yeah, let's talk about it now. Can someone, I pretty much just gave you the answer when I was standing over there, but can someone contrast hedonism and Epicureanism?
You can spell it too, man.
Excuse me.
I probably could. No one knows the difference between those two things?
Can you want to write it? Because I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Epicureanism, I see 1 computer, 2 computers, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Google it!
It's EA. So after R, it's EA.
Anybody can Google it. You could. You probably have a cell phone. You could Google it. What the hell is it? Come on.
EAN-ism.
Sorry?
Ism.
Googled it. Read just the first line for me.
No, don't read just the first line. Put that into your own words.
Ugh. Fine. Good luck. It's long.
It's easy.
Mental pleasures, they feel like intellectual pleasures more than physical pleasures.
Yeah, you did.
Well, yes. There's more to it though. Could someone expand upon that idea? Might not be curious.
He talked about swines. Did you guys read anything about swines? No. Do you know why would you say mental pleasures are better than physical pleasures? I remember this. Why would who can think of why a mental pleasure is better than a physical pleasure?
Because physical pleasures differ between different people.
That is right, but that's not what we're looking for. But that is right. They do differ. Pain can happen. Let me think of, maybe it's the way I'm phrasing it. What? Okay, so we have mental, Jesus, how could I say this without saying it? Yes. Okay, cool. Why are mental pleasures more important?
They're natural.
They're natural. Okay, cool. We're getting close.
Last longer.
That's it. Mental pleasures will last. They're sustainable. Physical pleasures are not. A cookie is not. Sex is not going to last your lifetime. Hopefully not. That would be horrible. But the knowledge you're learning here today most likely will last you a lifetime. Understanding the value of friendship will last you a lifetime. But physical pleasures come and go, so you shouldn't get hung up on these. That's what Epicurus says. He's saying you need to get hung up on the mental things.
Okay, let's go over the square of the Epicurean square. Can someone tell me what can go up here? So we're just gonna put nat.
Look at these random pictures.
Ness.
Who are these people who
Here.
took them in the 90s?
Here.
Unnatural, unnecessary.
I'm like, what are they doing?
Here.
Natural and unnecessary.
Okay.
And here.
Unnatural and unnecessary. Ooh, let's do some examples.
All right. Someone give me an example of a natural necessary pleasure.
Sleeping.
Eating.
Breathing.
Eat.
These are all good. These are all good things.
Sleep. Breathing. No.
Breathing isn't natural?
No, it's not that it isn't natural, not that it isn't necessary.
It's not a pleasure?
It's not like a pleasurable thing. Yes, it keeps you alive, which is good, i.e. pleasure, but it's not quite the same as eating.
That can definitely be debatable, but let's just kick it out.
Because not like, yeah.
No, that's fine.
So, gambling, you think that's natural and necessary?
Who the hell said that? Natural necessary? Why?
Gambling. She said gambling.
Oh my god, I thought you said gambling. You were like, what is wrong with you?
Okay, we got that. Let's go.
Okay.
Can someone give us an example of natural and unnecessary?
Natural.
Sex?
Natural.
Anything you do.
Glass of wine. Drinking. What else?
Having fun.
What? Having fun.
Okay, good.
China would definitely agree
Didn't
with
he say Didn't he say friendship was natural and necessary?
that. Natural and necessary.
Was that him that
That's
said
a
that?
weird. That's like a one we kind of pussyfooted around, but we'll hold off on that.
Yeah.
Let's go to natural and unnecessary. Drugs. Yeah.
This is unnatural. Okay, unnatural and unnecessary. We could probably come up with a lot of weird things to put up there.
Does anyone else have an example of unnatural
Just
and
like
unnecessary?
giggling, laughing.
Botox.
Cutting your fingers off and shoving them up your ass.
Sorry.
That's unnatural and
A
unnecessary.
mohawk.
A mohawk?
Botox.
Oh, Botox.
Botox. Unnatural and unnecessary. That's a good one. Well, it's not unnecessary. That depends on who you are. These are things that we want to say. This is just standard. You should know.
If you remember this, you're in a good.
Drugs. Unnatural, unnecessary.
So
Alcohol, unnatural,
can
unnecessary.
someone give an example of unnatural and necessary?
Surgery.
Medicine? Someone said surgery? Other? Anything else? Does anyone have something else? Cochlear implants? Does anyone else have nothing? Exactly. Hey, who said that? Well done to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Epic.
You redeemed yourself
Epicure said
earlier.
nothing because those things that we just named, surgery, cochlear implants, those weren't really around at that time. So it wouldn't really make sense for him to say that. But I think in today's modern era, you could look at it that way.
EP. I spit out fire. Let's talk about virtue theories. Yeah.
Why is alcohol natural and unnecessary, but drugs are unnatural?
Oh, did we put alcohol?
It says alcohol right over sex.
Can you erase alcohol from natural and unnecessary? Because
Why do you think that?
what's the difference between alcohol and drugs?
Yeah, that's all